Oh.
Okay, that's good. You can take the hat off now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here, a toast.
A toast to the Show 2.0, episode 7.
Oh, man. And what a great episode we have for you today. Oh, my God. Ooh.
No, it's fine.
That's vintage Chuck E. Cheese cola he's drinking. We have the
Yes.
original cups, spinny, sippy cups. We got all decked out. We got the whole show studio with our decorative Chuck E. Cheese merch. We're
Yes.
such huge Chuck E. Cheese fans.
Chuck E. Cheeseheads.
Oh, yeah, we're big cheeseheads, so we had to step in and review.
We reviewed today the Chuck E. Cheese and the Galaxy 5000.
Oh, wait, 1 second. Oh, and we're back.
That was crazy.
We're suited up, and I already had my suit on. Who knew?
Yes.
But yeah, we watched Chuck E. Cheese Galaxy 5000.
Yes.
The race. Well, I guess it's just Galaxy 5000.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to know it's the race, but classic movie, classic 1999 Chuck E. Cheese original home VHS tape.
Oh God, was it bad?
It was really bad. This was this was like a movie where it's like, this was a okay, I'm not gonna say it's a wasted pick because we're still gonna review it.
Yes.
And I would not recommend people watching this, but
it's on YouTube for free if you want to.
It is free, yeah.
We'll put a link in the description below.
to our favorite YouTuber. Shout out to I took notes this time, guys, because why not have the most professional review be of the worst movie?
Yeah, really. All the detail you need to remember.
Thank you, Chuck E. Dude Cheese, our favorite YouTuber, Chuck E. Dude Cheese. We love you, man.
Yeah, he uploads all the Chuck E. Cheese content, including this movie.
Yeah, he must have purchased the original ticket for 1,600 tickets.
Which is, I guess you said it would be about $16.
Yeah,
right.
There was I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese a lot as a kid, and I remember like asking the people at the counter, like, can I just buy the? Because I worked at like 14 or something. I had like money at an early age, and my younger siblings were still going and stuff. So I was like, can I just buy the thing? And I had money, and they were just like, yeah, I guess, like if it was like 1,600, it would be like $16. They just put like the decimal in the middle. So I guess, and I don't know if I had this VHS as a kid, but
did it bring back any memories, or no? You were just like, what is this?
It didn't bring back memories so much as it just made my brain feel like I lost a whole bunch of them. Like, yeah, I felt like this is what. That's what I was gonna say. And maybe I'm just become a stumbling fool from this movie, but it really made my brain into mush. It felt like watching this. It was just like kind of a brain dead, like a kid's movie.
There were points where I felt like my brain was dying. I felt like I was being drugged. Like it felt really bad.
It was like just a lot of the movie we were just like, oh God, like this is intensely bad. It was intensely bad. It was so bad that it was like giving me like it was making me like unnerved and like uncomfortable. I was like fidgeting in my seat like, oh God.
And it didn't start out that way. It starts out kind of rooted in reality because we get
it's pretty funny.
We get some live action bits where they're in an actual Chuck E. Cheese,
and
which is probably my favorite part, just because it kind of was nostalgic for me because they were actually in a Chuck E. Cheese. So I was like,
this is what as a kid and stuff.
Yeah, this is what it's like to be in a Chuck E. Cheese.
It looked like it too. It looked like it was actually filmed on location.
Yeah, no, it probably was. And like, then they go into CGI Nightmare Land, and it's a fucking.
The first 10 minutes, though, were pretty, like, I think we started out the movie, like, kind of, like, smiling. We're, like, laughing, like, ironically, maybe even at it. But it's, like, we're enjoying the movie. It's not like we're, like, we're not, like, bogged down right away.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as the first musical hit, though, there was a music number that started, and then I was like, oh, this is going to be a whole thing.
The galaxy's for you. The galaxy's for me. The galaxy's for you and me. Yeah!
Yes, it's a musical, which is the worst part of the movie. I mean, like, every song that comes... Oh, don't fucking knock it over. Every song that comes on is I mean, they're not all equally bad, but they're all bad.
Yeah.
Some of them are like
some are worse,
terrible.
maybe. Yeah.
And
some just gave you a headache.
Yeah, I was. It was a nightmare, and it's. Well, we'll go over the plot a little bit. It's actually pretty simple. It just says there's some weird things that happen sometimes, but this plot itself is simple.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're in a Chuck E. Cheese, like I said, and Chucky and his friends Munch and the dog
Jasper
and the hen
Helen Hen
are hanging out, just doing nothing pretty much.
Yeah, well, they got called for a meeting.
Yeah, they called a meeting. I don't know what for. And then a kid comes in, and he with the Italian stereotype.
Yeah, Pasquale.
Pasquale.
He was maybe my favorite character looking back, actually.
Yes, I think so too.
Because the original band, it's all based on the original band that you would see play like the mechanical animatronics, that got like later like parodied and made into a whole thing with Five Nights at Freddy's. Like it was just based on that whole original thing.
This movie's as scary as Five Nights at Freddy's to me.
It sets up like this hierarchy though. Like someone in the YouTube comments pointed out it was almost like a mafia movie set up in the beginning.
Yeah, where the kid goes to Chucky for a request.
Yeah. And Pasquale leads him in and he's like, you might have seen him around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yeah.
It was the most forced. It was way worse than that. That was better than how the guy actually did it in the movie,
Yeah, he
I
has
think.
a terrible accent.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, Pasquale.
Hi, Pasquale.
I think you all know a Charlie Rocket.
Yeah, hey, sure, we've seen him around the neighborhood. Yeah.
It was so... Oh, man. All the accents, the voices. Chucky's voice was abysmal. That was one of the worst parts, was listening to Chucky speak.
Yeah, and he goes in to ask for money.
Yeah, the kid goes in to ask for money.
Yeah.
It'll take $50,000 to buy a new tractor.
He need a $50,000.
Because his family owns a farm and their tractor broke down and he needs $50,000.
There's a farm boy that lives around this Chuck E. Cheese.
Apparently, yeah. They never show the farm. They never show his parents. It's just you just have to take this kid's word that he needs $50,000.
Yeah, the
for
tractor engine.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Where are we gonna?" That's how Chucky talks, by the way. He's like, "Where are we gonna get the kind of money for the tractor engine?"
Pretty much.
And that he has a lot of like the duh. He sounds like a.
I wish he said duh.
Was it Cliff from Cat Dog? The greaser who was tall and lanky. Was that Cliff or was that?
Are you thinking of the stupid one?
Yeah, Cliff was the main one. Then there was Grease or something.
Names. The Greaser Dogs.
Yeah, I'll put it on right here. But yeah, he's kind of sounding like that. And Chucky's like, "Where are we gonna get that money?" And Pasquale's like, I think I might have an idea."
Do you have any ideas on how we can come up with $50,000 for Charlie's aunt and uncle?
I'm glad you asked that question, Chucky. In a few days, a big race is going to take place.
Yeah.
And they do this gag later on in the movie, which was probably like, I did chuckle a couple times genuinely at the movie.
Yeah.
Pasquale turns around in the restaurant, and on the remote is like a close up of the remote, and he clicks on the
old
TV.
Ass VHS remote.
And there's just a VHS on top of like a Chuck E. Cheese like section of like the eatery where you eat the pizzas.
You typically see these kinds of movies like the Galaxy 5000 playing on the Chuck E. Cheese screens, and it was just one of the screens that he was playing this promo for this hip race
that was happening 1,000 miles away in another galaxy.
The Galaxy 5000.
Yeah, the classic race, which Pasquale has said actually that he raced 5 times in.
Yeah, he raced 5 times the Galaxy 5000 and won 3 times. Apparently, is later revealed.
I didn't even remember that. I'm glad that you remember that detail. That was like,
well, it said. He said like when they get to the ship because they have to borrow Pasquale's ship.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
they're like, this baby won 3 times. It's like, okay, great.
And the prize is like $300 billion or something in like some alien currency.
Yeah, it's like 300 billion euros.
Yeah, and it equates to exactly 52,000 USD.
The grand prize for first place is a 30 kilar, which amounted to about 52,000 US dollars.
Whoa!
52,000 US.
Yeah.
So it was perfect for Chucky and his friends. I don't know what they're gonna do with the extra 2,000, but
invest in more VHSs.
I would have liked there to be like a whole like underlying thing where like Chucky, like he knows the kid who's from the farm, and the farm makes the dough, and like the kid's
No.
like a slave.
Yeah,
I
that
want
would've
like
been
a
funny.
darker story where like you don't see the farmer parents because they're tucked away with the ball and chains that you see Dr. Zoom involved in.
Oh, well, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I just wish there was more to the kid's backstory. The kid comes with them.
He doesn't do anything. I mean, a lot of the characters don't do anything, to be fair.
So they go from
the
the
dog
Chucky
does-
place.
yeah, we'll get to it.
They leave Pasquale, so it's the main cast that goes to the place is like everybody but Pasquale. So like
Yeah.
They
He stays behind when we see why later, because they use his actor for something else.
yeah, I guess that was the one reason why. Even though they don't. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, they go on this colorful spinning disc, and it's like it teleports you to adventure or something like that.
Oh, it's the adventure machine. It's not. Yeah, it isn't. It doesn't take them. He's not giving them his ship. He takes them to the adventure machine that transports them, however many light years away, to this planet. That all it is a terrain, like just a desert terrain, that looks like the first Star Fox level in Star Fox 64. And then there's like one little piece of land and asphalt on top.
Yeah.
That has like a soda shop, a warehouse, and the racetrack and bleachers. And that's the only thing that's on the planet.
And to be noted, as soon as they enter this adventure machine, they're transported to a world which is entirely CGI, except for a couple things. So, I mean, and I was saying when we were watching it, for a 1999 movie that was straight to VHS, probably abysmal budget, the CGI wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be way worse. I mean, it's bad. It's not like
it's really
not
bad.
Good. It's not good. No. It's not like blocky or like as low resolution as I thought it was going to be. It looks okay.
Surprisingly okay.
Yeah. It could some of it could have passed for early Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. Although the movie itself felt like Planet Sheen.
Yeah. They go to this planet where the Galaxy 5000 is taking place. It's a racing planet, I guess.
Yeah. Immediately greeted with the X. I didn't know what to call these guys. You knew the name.
The X-Pilots.
X-Pilots. Okay.
Which I guess is a joke on X-Wings or something, like from Star Wars, but I don't know.
Okay. There was, I think, a Star Wars reference at one point.
Speaking of Star Wars, this came out 1999, same year as The Phantom Menace, which I don't know if you saw The Phantom Menace, but it has the pod racing in it. So I was thinking maybe that maybe it was in the air at the time. I wonder if one ripped off the other. George Lucas was watching Chuck E. Cheese, and he was like, that's a good idea.
He's like, I kind of look like the Hermit from the Hermit scene.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give that outfit to Yoda. You know, he had the same Yoda outfit.
Yeah. But yeah, they both feature the space racing, so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Was there any X-race character? I haven't seen the Star Wars version, because obviously Chuck E. Cheese is the superior of the
space
two.
racing version. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, both of them have a character who's kind of like the cheater. So, I mean, there's that, but we'll get into our cheaters, which are the X-Pilots, which we were talking about. The X-Pilots are these two Russian dudes who are very big meatheads who are very buff, who like to say yeah, it's good. We talk like, I mean, they don't really. I think they're supposed to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger type characters, like in terms of parodying him, not like a heroic Arnold Schwarzenegger character that he would play, but more of like if someone trying to do the voice badly.
Yeah, that's because it's more like a parody on people's parody of Arnold, like of people's impressions of Arnold.
Yeah, it's weird.
The actors,
but they're supposed to be Russian, I think, because they keep saying "yeah" and.
Is that yeah, I guess that is a Russian thing. Yeah, that's all they say. They're just like, huh, yeah, ha ha ha, yeah. Like, kids writing, but like to the point of just like.
Or da, I don't know. It's just really bad. It's like
you had younger siblings. Did you watch like old shows or like kid shows with them where you're like, like even when you're a kid, it's like the writing is like too dumbed down for even as like your kid brain.
No,
you're like,
I kind of avoided watching like.
I
watched
too many Disney Channel shows.
No, I avoided all that shit.
Yeah.
But like, no, I get what you mean. Like, even as a kid, I think I would find this like stupid.
Yeah,
if I watched this.
I wouldn't have been able to watch this. I needed to be an adult to watch Chuck E. Cheese Galaxy 5000.
Yes, we needed to wait this long.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though those two characters were, I mean, they're all the characters were kind of annoying, but these
Right.
two were especially annoying. But they made me laugh the most, maybe because just of how bad they were, like how bad their like silly goofiness was. I mean, the actors looked like they were having a good time, but like
Yeah.
it was just like so silly and stupid that it made me laugh.
We have a superior training program resulting in the maximum buffness. Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
They were like, they almost had like a Beavis and Butthead type like dynamic between them. They had a, you know what? I'll say this: they had one move where they would like, they would like ha ha ha, and they did it a couple times where they would like slap their hands twice together or something. They would be like bop bop, and then they would grab their hands together and then slam their heads together.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
like that. Kind of reminds me of like this TF2 taunt. I forget who does it,
Yeah,
like the
they're-
Demo Man or something.
Yeah, it was goofy. It was cartoonish.
Yeah, it was a nice little like touch to like their character. The one fleshed out thing about them, maybe.
But they're the villains, and they immediately start picking a fight because they're hitting on Helen, the hen.
Yeah. They have a thing for Helen.
What?
And
They
we
have
don't
a
know
thing
why.
for girls.
Oh yeah, well yeah. They like the ladies. These guys, whew, they're ladies men. These two.
Yeah, and then Chucky doesn't do anything but in this scene. He just like kind of stands there blankly, even though they're supposed in the lore of Chuck E. Cheese, Chucky and Helen are supposed to be a couple, I guess.
Right.
And Chucky just stands there like
yeah, as
doing nothing.
they walk over to his girl. These thugs straight up walk on Chucky's girl. They walk up and
he does nothing.
He does nothing, and he's just like, huh? As
Jasper steps in and says something.
he's like, I gotta step in for my friend Chucky getting cucked like this.
Yeah.
No way.
He says that too.
Yeah, that's the cuck line from Jasper. Classic. We tried to find some trivia. I wish there was more.
Yeah.
Since we're mentioning canon Chuck E. Cheese stuff, I do want to say that it is canon revealed in the show that Chucky and his friends don't have any money.
No.
Pasquale is the owner of Chuck E. Cheese, technically, and they don't have jobs. They just kind of show up and perform every once in a while,
They're-
and he doesn't pay them, I
well,
guess.
no, because like, that. Yeah,
Oh, I forgot to mention that.
they're a band. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
right? So they in Chuck E. Cheese, you go and see
That's
them
so they know
perform.
each other, I
They would
guess.
sing. I guess that's why this is a musical, because they're a band in the actual Chuck E. Cheese restaurants. So, but yeah, when the kid goes and asks them for money in the beginning, they're just like, okay, empty your pockets, guys. We're gonna give them all our money, and they have nothing.
Yeah.
I've got $2.
Ooh, wait, 10 spot. Hey, look, I've got a $5, but I have a feeling that Charlie needs more than this.
And they mention at one point we have no. They're like, what are we gonna do? Get a job? And they're jobless too.
Yeah, they're at Chuck E. Cheese. Chucky's making no money off of it, and at this point in time, the product has been around. Chuck E. Cheese started in like the 80s, I think. They had like an older
yeah.
mascot of him with like a monocle and stuff, where he had like a top
Before
hat.
that, it was the Showbiz Pizza
Oh,
bear and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
they kind of like, it's the same company that made them, and then they kind of updated to, they changed them all to Chuck E. Cheese's, because I guess Showbiz Pizza kind of was, the bear was kind of scary, I guess. I don't know.
and it was the same. It was also made by the Atari guy.
Yes, we found out looking online that Atari apparently helped open the first Chuck E. Cheese, because I guess a way to shell out their arcade machines.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, I guess, because Chuck E. Cheese is like an arcade / pizzeria.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nowadays you don't go there for the fucking pizza, and no one's like, oh, I'm gonna order some pizza from Chuck E. Cheese.
I love Chuck E. Cheese pizza, for the record.
I mean, yeah, but
I wish I fell for that over quarantine. I don't know if you saw that, like they were actually selling their pizza
Yeah,
on like
I saw
Uber Eats
that.
as like something else. I wish I was ordering pizza, because I would have loved. That would have been the greatest surprise of all, to get a Chuck E. Cheese pizza instead of a real pizza. To me,
is that a real pizza?
I love. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't count fast food pizza as like, you ever see?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a Little Caesars?
But
And
we're from Jersey,
we're from Jersey. And what is the line?
and where I'm from,
Yeah, no, that's just. I wanted to look up, like little facts about the movie. Figured it'd be cool to have little tidbits.
there's not too much.
There's not much on the movie in general.
Because a directed video movie that was probably only distributed through Chuck E. Cheese's
Yeah.
and Target apparently.
Oh yeah, Target had a special deal with Chuck E. Cheese, I guess.
Yeah, but this was one of the first things that Funimation helped produce.
Yeah, that was a cool.
Which
that
was
a little
strange. I mean,
interesting
before
thing.
they became known for just dubbing anime, they were doing Dragon Ball Z at the time, and we get a Dragon Ball Z mainstay, Chris
Yeah.
Sabat,
Yeah,
who plays Munch. Although he just does the dum
He doesn't.
accent.
He barely talks in the whole thing.
doesn't say much.
He just does noises. So you hear like Vegeta grunts or like what's the other name? Mr. Popo.
Yeah, he played Mr. Popo and Piccolo.
Yeah, Piccolo. So you hear kind of like a Mr. Popo type like noise in the back where you're just like. Want a pizza?
Yeah, he's the dumb character who does. Again, he doesn't do anything. The dog kind of does stuff.
Jasper makes sure
Jasper
that Chucky doesn't get cooked.
Yeah, Jasper makes sure Chucky doesn't get caught. Chucky's the main character. Helen does stuff, and the kid does nothing.
Helen's a little bit of a floosy in this one.
Yes, because after they lose the preliminary race,
Yeah.
because
They show up and there's just a there's a Flapjack comes into play before we.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Flapjack is like the
No.
what is he?
Jasper's the mechanic.
Yeah, what is Flapjack? He's just a guy who happens to know Pasquale, and he's like, yeah, I take care of Pasquale's old ship.
And he wears a cowboy costume though, like Jasper.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they find him in a metal shop underneath
You'd assume he's
Pasquale's car. No, wait.
Yeah, he is doing mechanic type stuff, but Jasper's already the mechanic of the group, so he can't fill that role.
Yeah, Flapjack kind of just leaves after a while. He just pieces out and kind of comes back
He
in at
shows
the very end.
what was the ship's name?
The Songbird.
The Songbird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which is this looks like a crappy old van, and although a green crappy old van to boot. Oh, green, the worst color.
Oh yeah, they open up the garage door and they're like, oh, it's terrible, Pasquale.
Yeah,
They're not very grateful. No, the kid's not grateful for Chucky and his friends doing all this and everything. A lot of, I mean, Grant. Yeah, I know it's a kids movie. I know it was intended for kids. But like I said, with the Disney Channel thing, it's like I've seen like I used to watch a lot of cartoons. I've seen like so many kids shows and stuff. I know like the writing for a lot of these things is not like the best, but this is like on a level where even as a kid, you watch this and you're like I cannot sit through this. Like there's some content that's like not. It's beyond like asking people to watch this is like it was torturous. It really was. But there's some gags in it that were intentional gags that people wrote that they thought would make kids laugh, and some of them we were very confused on. Which, so they lose the preliminary. I guess I'm just setting that up for when we get to the start of the race, which seemed to bother you specifically the most.
Oh well, it was the start of the preliminary race.
Oh, it was the preliminary.
Yeah, it was the first time.
Okay.
It was the first time they raced, and
Yeah.
it's counting down like 10, 9, and then they get to 3, 1, and it
Yeah,
skips 2,
it skips
and
2.
and all the characters start looking at each other confused, and we're wondering what just happened.
4, 3. One.
What did he say?
Racers, stand by.
Why did they skip 2? What's the gag here? And they're just
Hold on it for way too long.
and they
go to
hold-
the crowd,
yeah,
go to
they-
Chucky, go to the.
They show
the
everyone's
announcer.
reaction, and they're all confused. And it goes back and it's like, let's just start over. 10, not. And it just goes down, and they do a normal countdown. And I'm just wondering, what was the false start for? Like, what was the point of the missing the 2 gag? Like, is there a joke there that I'm missing, or was it just to build the tension of the scene? Or it makes no sense.
That's a perfect example of like the jokes in this were very much more so than like the ones that actually made us laugh. But like there was a lot of scenes where it was
that
like
didn't make me laugh. That
No,
just
no,
made me very confused.
oh yeah, but that's what I mean. Like these jokes where it's like a non-joke.
Yeah.
That I feel like it's almost given like dead air, and then like I guess it's a cue for kids to laugh, but it's not.
It seemed like it, yeah.
But it's not a joke.
No.
It's at its core, it's not a joke.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense, and it's not funny. Even if it was dumb and random humor, it's not funny. So it's like
It was just nonsensical. And then when they're
a lot of nonsensical
when they're
scenes.
in the preliminary race and Chucky's doing well, and then he kind of fucks up near the end, then loses. Spoiler. But
Oh yeah, spoiler. Chucky sucks at racing. He didn't know that getting into it.
I mean, he's never done it before,
Yeah.
so you give him a break. But I don't know what he's doing over there.
I need more review juice.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna drink from the bottle. I don't have much left. But okay, we're back. When Chucky is in the race with the ex-pilots, they're losing for a little bit, and then they're gonna go into the caverns, and they pull out their secret weapon, which I thought was going to be a trap.
Oh, the X-Racers?
Yes, they pull out their secret weapon, which is the zoom gas.
Yeah, the zoom gas. That's what they pull it out in the preliminaries. They're a powerful weapon.
Yeah, they pull a lever, and gas just starts flowing in their faces. So I thought at first, like, okay, the joke is it was supposed to be a trap that went out of their truck or something, or their spaceship, and instead it went in their face for some reason, and that's the joke. But no, that's not the joke. There's no joke.
Yeah.
The gas, they inhaled the gas like some sort of performance-enhancing drug.
Yeah.
And they go like...
It looks like gas exhaust from a car, though.
It reminded me of a video I saw recently of a junkie like huffing, like those compressed air.
Yeah.
And he died on video.
And,
and his friends were just like confused, like they didn't know what was going on.
Let's put a clip up.
No, I'm not. Don't put that clip. Don't put that clip. But that anyway. It reminded me of that clip because it was just like they were just huffing this air and getting high and acting crazy, and it was just like, what is going on?
Yeah. The guy, he has like this little it looks like a strip of like Scotch tape that they put like a gray magic marker on to put like little like lenses on, because he goes like, and he goes like, yeah, and he's like punching himself and stuff. Zoom gas.
They were really excited about it too, and then they start going faster, and like I guess the mess because then we get into the because Chucky loses and he's like, oh fuck.
He's all bummed out. He hates himself.
Yeah, and he gets with this nice model girl.
Yeah, there's a model. The one other girl.
We skipped over that part, but
yeah.
But it's a really weird part because Chucky's just like straight up hitting on this woman in front of his girl.
This was before the preliminaries. This was when they first get there. Yeah, the order doesn't matter. When they get to the preliminaries, they get in and Helen immediately gets hit on. Chucky is kind of like he just watches his girlfriend, get hit on, and Jasper steps in. And then there's like this other girl that walks in after the Zoom guys are pushed away from Jasper, and Chucky's like, "Oh, thanks Jasper for saving me and my girl." And then as soon as this other girl walks in, he's like, "Move over, Helen, because I'm horny." And like Chucky has a lot of like weird moments in this where he wants to get laid. Like
apparently, because like he's just like really onto this girl, and it's like she's interested because he's a racer, and she's like,
she thinks he's like hot stuff.
Yeah, she's like this college girl from like, I'm on vacation here. I spent all my money to come here and watch the racers.
Yeah, it's set up where like she's like saved up her whole like her allowance and her paychecks, and this is like the big thing she's wanted to go to for forever. But yeah, she just wants to be with the hottest racer, you know.
And Chucky takes advantage of that and takes advantage of her.
Yeah, he does. Oh yeah, he does. He's like, I'm the best, or something. Like, he sells himself lies and pushes Helen away, and she's like, what am I, chopped liver? And he's like, you're nothing to me, bitch.
Yes, and she gets after the ex-racers, the ex-pilots or whatever the fuck. They win the preliminaries, and then Helen gets with them to get back at Chucky.
Hey, Mousy, look here.
Helen?
There's a lot of what do you call that? Menage, right? Is that what a menagerie is? What is that?
Oh, like a menage a trois, like a
menage a trois. What is that? There's a weird, not a love triangle, I guess. It's more of a square.
I guess.
I don't know what I'm talking about now.
But Helen gets with the bad guys.
Yeah.
Although we learn that she's just trying to find out their secret. and it's the secret to their success. And he
she's a double agent.
She goes to them to Dr. Zoom's lab, and Dr. Zoom is the guy who runs the race. And
that might be my favorite character, actually. Maybe not Pasquale.
Dr. Zoom's pretty good. He doesn't do much.
He doesn't do much, but I don't know when's a good time to mention.
Just mention it now.
Okay. But if you're a fan of check it out with Steve Brule, there's a character named Pablo Myers, and this looks like the character. I wish maybe I'll look into it. If it's
you
not
wish it was the same guy.
If it's not the case, I'll put a big no over my face right now. But if it is, that would be amazing. This guy looks like a younger Pablo Myers, who's the guy who like funds Steve Brule's like show that they do later on in the series, Bag Boy. He looked so similar, like facially, and he had the same face tics the way he was talking at first. I don't know, the way they presented him was weird and off-putting, and I really like his aura he was sending off. If that
he's one of the villains, and
the leader of the Zoom clan.
Yeah, they go to Dr. Zoom's lab, which is a weird, again, CGI nightmare, and with moving shit in the back, it was weird. And they reveal through song that the Zoom gas is the secret to their power.
Zoom gas, it's a blast! Zoom gas, it'll make you go fast. Zoom gas, yes, yes, yes! Zoom gas.
Right, they give it away, and they're not supposed to.
And what I thought was like, okay, the villains are using performance-enhancing drugs. That's kind of the message is, they're the bad guys. They're doing, you don't do that. They're, but like, it makes no sense because they're racing cars. Like, how is it like? I guess it improves their perception or something, but like, it's not like as simple as like if it were like the Olympics and they're using steroids. Like, okay, that's direct correlation.
And NASCAR is one of the only sports that you can't really use drug enhancement, right?
I mean, like, what would it do? Other than, like I said, improve your reaction time, but like, I don't know. It's a stupid metaphor that they try, but
it doesn't.
They tried it out. They tried their best.
You got to give them that. Chucky at least tried. They tried
Chucky
to do something.
Wrote this.
The movie at least had a start, middle, and end.
Yeah.
It was at least in the form of a movie. Yeah, at least there was an ending.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But after they're in the Zoom lab, they kidnap or they capture Helen and
they capture Helen.
Put her in a chicken coop because the Zoom gas is made out of chickens.
That's right.
For some reason.
No, they have to extract chicken juice. So
yes,
Dr. Zoom wants to
reduce them to juice.
He wants to reduce them to juice. I forget how he said it.
Something like that.
He had a funny way of talking, but the X-Racers are smoking chicken juice. That's what it was.
Yes. Of all things, like
they're inhaling chicken juice, and that's what makes them so high.
I mean, they love it too.
And they love it. It's addictive. They mention it through song. They mention that it has a lot of side effects, like turning their brains into literal mush.
They get that's why they're so stupid.
Yeah, that's all they can say is da, nah, and brah. It's just because they're like they're so stoned all the time off this chicken juice. So I guess that leads into the race, right? Or no, Chucky goes to practice, and that's where we meet the last character.
Yes, we'll meet the Hermit. Mm-hmm. The Hermit, who is just Pasquale with a slightly whiter beard and mustache. Or not beard, but hair and mustache. And he uses Irish slang instead of Italian. I was going to say he uses an Irish accent, but he doesn't really use an Irish accent.
He goes back and forth, but he can't choose who he is, Pasquale or the Hermit.
Yeah, he can't really do it very well.
You can't expect to be your best if you don't practice.
But, oh God, Pasquale was Italian, and that was so bad. And then you meet the Hermit, and it's this broken, half Cockney, just regular Irish to almost bad. Italian, going to like a regular whatever the dude's normal voice is, and he can't keep it consistent. And he was the worst actor.
No, it was terrible. And he's the mentor. He's the Yoda.
He has the Yoda outfit.
He does have the Yoda outfit.
They make reference to Karate Kid, and there's a great scene where Chucky's hopping on and off these little volcano pillars.
Well, we only know they're volcano pillars because there's little stock explosions that come out of them. Yeah.
It was like the last episode. Guys, go check out the last episode of the show, number six, and check out Whiplash and see the great explosions.
Those were
almost
the same.
It might be the same exact quality. It was just like pop, 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 pop. Just like stock explosions coming out of these little pillars.
Yeah, and he was jumping between them. He was hitting little sock puppets with a fly swatter.
Yeah, fly swatter thing.
And that was his training. And it was embarrassing.
Oh, and he runs on a wheel too.
He runs on a mouse wheel, hamster wheel.
That was the worst use of the CG. That was the most. I mean, not worst use of the CG. That was the most apparent. That was the laziest looking green screen scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's fair, I think, to say.
Yeah, I was. I've said this before. I was impressed they bothered to add shadows to the characters. Yeah. Like that was a detail that they could have gone without, but like they actually did put in the effort to add little shadows. But it's not in every scene, so I guess whoever was doing it was like, at a certain point, was like, "Fuck this! I just put it out there."
Some scenes are a lot nicer looking than others. The Hermit scenes were pretty good. I like that Chucky's racing. He gets there by hitting a wall, and he just wakes up like in a bed, like in some strange room, and the Hermit guy just comes out, and that whole thing was hilarious. He has a magic crystal ball that he shows.
Yeah.
And the best scene, though, that got the biggest laugh out of the both of us was as he's leaving, Chucky's leaving the cave of the Hermit. The car is fine, even though he crashed. He was only there for the training. And as he's leaving, he waves goodbye, and the car door closes, so the Hermit can't hear him anymore. And Chucky's like at the wheel, and he's like looking out the window, and he turns back around, and you could. The mask has like a little bit of emotion, but he looks like sad. The saddest the costume can turn.
Yes.
And he looks down, and he's like, Pasquale.
Pasquale.
And then he just drives off. And it's like,
It opens so many questions.
Did he know that it was the Pasquale actor? Did he think that it was Pasquale?
Yeah, what is he talking about?
Was he just thinking about Pasquale?
Yeah, he could have just been thinking about him at the time.
Oh god, that scene was my favorite. I think out of the entire movie, that was the biggest highlight. Was just him sighing and thinking about Pasquale, or thinking that the guy bared resemblance to his friend.
Yes.
I don't know why that stood out so much, but you'd have to see it to believe. No, you'd have to. I'll put the scene right here, guys. You don't have to ever see the movie.
Pasquale.
Thank God.
Is that we're basically getting towards the end.
I mean, he teaches him to something in the training.
He teaches him how to be confident in himself.
I guess
That's what it is, because he. The only way to win the Galaxy 5000 is there's three different modes to your car. Vega is how they describe the space cars.
They're like, you got to drive it Vega 2, and at the end, Chucky's driving his fucking spacecraft, and he's like, I know, we'll go Vega 3.
Yeah, because we're not gonna beat him. He's like, I have one more move.
Yeah, and he wins the race by a nose. And
just
they're
barely
like,
makes
woo,
it.
And Helen escaped and called the cops, who are like these English bobbies for some reason.
Yeah.
And they arrest Dr. Zoom and his cronies.
They put those old ball and chains on them, from like cartoons and stuff.
But yeah, and then the movie ends with another musical number where they're all happy because they got the $50,000 for the stupid ass tractor.
Yeah, they never show them getting the tractor. That's never really
they couldn't afford that.
The kid is also in the movie throughout all these scenes that we've gone over.
He doesn't.
Other than the Hermit scene, he's pretty much in the back for everyone.
Yeah, we don't mention him or Munch at all in this review much because, like I said before, they don't do anything.
Yeah, they're just not.
They're just there.
They could have stayed back with Pasquale.
They would have been safer. They put him in a lot of danger. They were like hitting the walls in that truck and that fucking spaceship. I keep calling it a truck for some reason.
It looked like a truck. They were driving in this weird CGI vehicle. There are some highlights.
Okay.
Like, of course, we have the classic getting high off the zoom gas scene.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Chuck E. Cheese training. But one part that I almost missed that you had to point out for me was one of the Zoom racers pisses himself at one point.
Yeah, it's because they're like laughing at someone and they're like, oh, yeah, I feel like I'm going to piss myself. Yeah, no, he doesn't say piss. He says, I'm going to pee my pants.
Yeah, the other guy says that, and then, yeah.
Then the other guy's just like, like he peed in his pants and he waddles off, and it's just like, why did he pee his pants?
I think we're going to vet our pants.
He was laughing too hard. He was so...
That's a joke I might have laughed at as a kid, admittedly.
Okay.
Because it's just so stupid. Like, it's like, he peed his pants.
There's an implied panty scene where the hot girl, the live action hot girl who is with Chucky at first, eventually goes with the Zoom goons, and she slips like these white and black like panties like into the dude's.
They're
like,
not panties. It's a handkerchief, but
yeah,
but it might as well be panties.
Yeah, because the guy picks it up and he's like, "Woof, I love it," you know.
Yeah, he sniffs her fucking clothes and shit.
It's a Zoom gas. Yeah. But first, what the heck?
There's a part where he doesn't even need the Zoom gas. Maybe that's why they lose, actually. Maybe that's the thing, is the girl mess it up. She's the Yoko Ono of the Zoom squad.
Yeah, that part made no sense because they were like, it's time for the Zoom gas.
Yeah, the other guy says, like, let's use the Zoom gas. And he's like, he's like, yeah, you're right. And then he picks out the panties from his shirt, bra, vest thing that he is wearing the whole movie. And then he sniffs them, and then he's like, ooh, and he does the same, like, like he's getting hyped off the high.
And they just keep driving, and it's like, okay, maybe either they didn't have enough fog machine for another Zoom gas scene, or they just thought that the panties would suffice as getting them high enough.
They should have just played back the same scene.
I wouldn't have cared. Known. That was the funniest scene in the movie, so I would have loved that.
That would have been hilarious if they just did the same thing. That's about it for all my notes and everything. All else I had was just if you had any like memories of like Chuck E. Cheese, because we did go as like kids and stuff. You know, we would go like there and win prizes and stuff. It was a fun. I liked it a lot more than Dave & Buster's.
I just remember having fun in like the tubes that they had, and, like the ball pit, and the little rides, not rides, but whatever you'd call them, the attractions.
There was some small stuff
here. The arcade, at least at the one we went to, was kind of slim pickings in terms of games. Mm-hmm. There weren't the best games there.
There was an interesting game, Jambo Safari.
Okay.
Hot Finger, that's one I remember playing a lot.
Oh, I kind of remember that, yeah. That's one where you had to
connect the line really quick. Yeah. That was a fun one. There was a lot. There was a basketball hoop game I played a lot. That was
that's in a lot of arcades.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any specific Chuck E. Cheese games that I can only imagine playing there. Because there was a couple like small Chuck E. Cheese things I remember going as like a kid and seeing like they had like Chucky and like this weird. It was like one of those like quarter operated machines, but you're in there with Chucky.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
They had like some custom like Chuck E. Cheese stuff here and there.
You know what I remember? Is when they weren't performing, they would close the curtains on the animatronics.
Yeah.
And we would peek behind the curtains just to look at them while they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
And it was kind of creepy.
They would have red eyes, like the robots would have red eyes, and they just like were standing there like that. I mean, I get why Five Nights at Freddy's like took off. Like it is an unsettling thing, and there's nothing really like it.
Yeah.
If you see the exoskeletons of the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics do look pretty creepy. Oh, you know what? It might have been the same Chuck E. Cheese that we went to as kids. There was one that closed down nearby when, Chuck E. Cheese went out of business. They reopened. They're doing a little bit better than Toys R Us, which is not saying much, but they're just staying above water right now. We should really get some Chuck E. Cheese pizza sometime. But I remember this one Chuck E. Cheese closed down, and they had the dumpsters were outside, and I was supposed to go there that day with like my family, and we stopped, and it was just emptied out. They gutted the whole place. Everything was in the trash. And they spray painted over a lot of the animatronics and stuff, the signs, because they don't want people to take it. A big dumpster. Like when they empty out like a house, they'll put it out.
They put all their animatronics in the dumpster outside.
The animatronics legit just got thrown in the dumpster, and I guess maybe the employees were hired to like smash them up, so it encouraged people to not take the parts and everything. So the robots, I saw the robots all like smashed and like destroyed. At the time, I was probably like 11, 12, 13, so I didn't have like a cell phone to take pictures, but I wish I could have, like, because I still have the memories of that. That's funny. Seeing the robots smashed.
Yeah.
Like, that was a pretty interesting thing to see as a kid, because I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese a lot. We used to go together like all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing the robots, like, that was pretty cool. I think that, like, it's such an interesting, novel idea. I wish that I hope it stays around. I hope Chuck E. Cheese doesn't go out of business. I used to love... did you ever go to the Rainforest Cafe as a kid?
I think so.
That was
I don't remember much about it though.
That was always like a very cool thing to me, was going into a place and seeing the animatronics and stuff. As a kid, you like that kind of thing. The only thing that I don't know, this brought me back to like, I will say the movie reminded me of a couple things I like about like I used to watch these old not Chuck E. Cheese. We were trying to find out if there was more tapes like this that existed.
It seems like this is the only movie, at least.
It might have been like their first try at it, and they were going to try and do more in the future.
Perhaps.
But
kind of like speculated on that. But
you could see that this was not gonna. Nobody liked this.
No,
you wouldn't like this. We didn't like this. It was bad. But McDonald's had a. Did you ever watch the old McDonald's VHS cartoons?
Cartoons, no.
They used to, just like Burger King had like the video games that they sold at one point. McDonald's had VHSs similar to this Chuck E. Cheese thing, where you would like pay with a meal for a Happy Meal. It had a VHS in it, and you could watch like this cartoon that was like a Chuck E. Cheese. McDonald's inspired cartoon. They had a couple of them, and it was actually animated by the same people that did Rugrats and Rocket Power.
Klasky Supo.
Yeah, it was one of their early projects, and it had like that same style and everything. A little weird seeing the whole Ronald McDonald crew like that.
Yeah,
but those were like that. It brought me back to like something like this, similar writing, but not. It just the execution was terrible.
I was saying while we were watching it, I would have preferred if it was animated, just because like the CGI is bad, the costumes are not the best. I mean they're okay looking, but they don't move much. The eyes move mostly. The mouth kind of goes.
The eyes make them look all drowsy, like they're drugged up on a lot of scenes.
Yeah, they do, and just the visuals in general. I mean, the music we mentioned was terrible. God. I mean, even when they're not singing, the music in the background is bad.
The music when they weren't singing had me like my ears were like I wanted to stab my ears with like a pen or something, because it was just like, I'm not even gonna play a clip. If you want to torture your ears, you can find the
just
movie.
Watch it, yeah.
Yeah, find Chucky Dude Cheese, and he'll show you the horror.
Chucky Cheese, yeah.
But man, that. Like when they're just like in the ship or just talking or getting the pizza from the one dude. That was the only other highlight, was they ordered a pizza, and you got to hear Vegeta talk about getting a pizza.
I mean, it doesn't even sound like Vegeta. It's like such a waste.
Yeah, no, it is a big waste of that voice.
But so Chris, what would you rate Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000?
I mean,
1 to 10.
It's so bad. But it's like, that it's going to be bad. We knew it was going to be bad.
We didn't go into this expecting anything great.
Yeah, so
we didn't expect a hidden gem or anything.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe there to be like a couple more like funny scenes, something we could mention that would be.
Yeah, other than the gas scene, which was so bizarre that it was funny. Like there wasn't much that made us like genuinely laugh, other than like the weird ironic laughter of fucking seeing Dr. Zoom look like this check it out guy.
Yeah, this movie was such a drag, and the music killed it for me. Like if it wasn't for the music, maybe it would be like a. Didn't I give something a 1?
I don't think so.
No? Why do I feel like I gave something a 1? I guess I'll give oh, you know what? It was on Garbage Gamers. I was giving the Purge movies a 1.
Oh, right, you did.
But now I can't. Oh man, guys. Go to episode 3.
Is this worse than The Purge 2? Or whatever?
This is worse than The Purge. I never thought I'd say... All right, guys. You know what? We're going to give a recommendation to The Purge, one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Never saw it, I take your word for it.
I hate The Purge. I hate all the Purge movies. Go watch Garbage Gamers episode 3, and you could hear me rag on the Purge movies. But like I gave those a point something, and I gave The Purge 1 a 1. So I'm going to have to bump those up. And I'll give The Purge 1 will be a 2 out of 10. And all the other sequential Purge movies go down to 0.2 in decimals every time. But this I'm going to have to give, if I'm going into the decimals, I'm going to give it a 0.8 out of 10.
Okay, so it's kind of close to a 1.
It's kind of close to a 1. It's like I said before, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So it is a movie. Technically, it reaches the hour point. It's a technical movie. It's
maybe not feature length, but it's a movie.
That's why it gets that 0.8. It's a technical movie. That's all. That's the praise it gets, I guess. go watch The Purge, I guess.
I'm trying to think because I don't like to give things lower than a 1.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to think on like 1 through 10, like not to go into the decimals, but
can you give it a 0?
I maybe, but like I'm thinking, I'd like to save that, so I'm gonna give this a 1.
Okay.
I'll save a 0 for something else because this wasn't like actively like hatred. I didn't hate the movie. It was bad, and I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't like despise it. Like it wasn't like annoying to me. Like I wasn't like I fucking hate this movie. Like it wasn't that bad.
That's the thing is The Purge. I despise The Purge.
But this is lower than that. Hard to say.
I don't. If you like The Purge, go to
hell.
Go to hell and go to Spinal Palm. You can. Don't dislike Show, but like you can dislike my stuff. Go to all my videos and dislike me. But you have terrible taste if you like The Purge is so bad. But I'm gonna have because I hated that. If you're saying hate,
yeah,
this movie did not make me hate it. The Purge movies, every single one I've seen that I've tortured myself with watching has been an actual torture. Chuck E. Cheese's, I would rather watch Chuck E. Cheese than any of the Purge movies. So
okay, that's a high recommendation from Chris Gassler. The Purge is worse than Chuck E. Cheese and Galaxy 5000.
Yeah, The Purge.
You're lost for words.
This is throwing me off so bad now. I'm gonna give Chuck E. Cheese and the Galaxy 5000 a 2.5 out of 10.
Wow.
And I'm gonna give The Purge 1 a 1.5, and I'm gonna give all the sequential purges that same 0.2.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna list them out for you guys.
Okay.
I don't know. Those movies were so bad.
Excellent.
Those are the worst movies I can think of right now. Chuck E. Cheese, Galaxy 5000, you didn't disappoint as much as a modern day movie as The Purge, which has a great premise. It's a good premise. I wanna like The Purge.
Okay, enough about the damn Purge.
All right, I want to purge my brain of this movie. I want to just eradicate all memory of this. We're gonna do another review after this, guys. This movie destroyed my brain. I feel like I inhaled the Zoom gas.
Zoom gas?
Yeah, I feel like this Zoom gassed me up. Oh my god, let's just end this.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so you gave it whatever. We had the review.
Tune in for the next Show 2.0. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye.